That will be released here soon. It's
So
a
it's
kind of
Brazilian films.
no Brazilian films. It's worldwide films. A kind of grand premiere.
Really?
Yes.
So is there anybody interesting in town for it?
Yes, a lot of people, but not well known people. Tomorrow will be here Harvard Keitel.
Oh, really?
Yes, and the others are okay.
Is he bringing Reservoir Dogs?
He tries to, but I don't believe he will be able to bring the movie. I think he's bringing a tape record of the movie, a video cassette.
Oh, really?
Of the movie.
Oh, great.
Paul Morrissey is already here, and who else? With a well-known Penny Baker. Have you known Penny Baker, the director that has made
Monterey Pop
Yes,
Festival?
Monterey Pop Festival. The writer of that movie called The Player, Michael Tolkien too.
That's right, Michael Tolkien.
Michael Tolkien, he's a very interesting writer. And who else? The daughter of Orson Welles, Beatrice Wells.
Oh yes, that's right.
Who else? Let me see. And I think only these people.
And where is the film festival?
Oh, in some places. Here at the hotel in Copacabana, besides here, and another theaters around the town.
Right.
So, can we start?
Sure, let's start.
How did you get into the movies?
I was in New York studying theater, and I got a job out in Los Angeles working for a production company, reading scripts for them and writing synopses of the scripts. And I was trying to break into acting, and this well-known casting director in Los Angeles came into the office one day to have a meeting with my boss, the producer that I was working for. And my boss kind of jokingly said to him, well, you know, Brandon wants to be an actor, and so he let me audition for this television movie that he was casting, and I got the part.
So you worked first on the stage?
Yes.
For how long?
Well, I guess for about 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Wow, how many places have you played in?
I guess about seven or eight.
7. Wow, interesting. I thought you started first on the movies.
No, I didn't really do a movie until, well, I did one when I was 22.
22?
Yeah, 5 years ago.
Wow, what movie was that?
That was called Legacy of Rage, and it was a Cantonese language film. It was shot in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Was it an action movie too?
It had action in it, but it was nowhere near as much of an action movie as like Rapid Fire. It was really more of a love story.
More love story.
Yeah.
Have you taken some dramatical lessons?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
I still take acting classes, as a matter of fact.
Do you think it helps out to act?
Yes, I think it does.
Yeah. How do you consider the importance of your father into the action movies?
Action movies in general?
In general, yes.
Well, as far as the martial arts action film goes, I think that my father created the genre in the West. Outside of Hong Kong at the time that he made those films, I don't think there was a martial arts film genre. So I think that he really popularized that film genre. As far as the effect that's had on other forms of action movies, I'm sure you can see ways that has filtered down into other types of action movies too.
He started doing that kind of movie in Hong Kong.
Okay.
When have you started practicing martial arts?
As soon as I could walk. I started training when I was 1.5.
How old were you?
1.5.
1.5. Ah, okay. And speaking of martial arts, yet. Have your father taught you how to fight well?
Yes, he has.
How much he was good?
He was the best.
The best. Speaking of movies, have your father taught you how to be into the movies?
No, not really. That was something I am still trying to learn by myself.
Yeah. Were you used to follow your father into the set of the location of the movies?
Yeah, I used to visit my dad on the sets of his movies. I thought it was great. I had really enjoyed that when I was a kid.
Have you? I think you've had a great time following that.
Yeah. We traveled a lot when I was young because we were following my dad's movies around. And I went and visited him on the sets of those movies, and I went and saw all the movies in the theater when they came out, and I had a great time.
What is the difference that at those times, at those days, what is the difference being in the set of the movies with your father and after seeing him on the screen?
What's the difference between those things?
Yes, because for example, one movie that you see your father playing a fight, and after that you see when the movie was released, seen on the screen.
Well, it's magic, you know. I mean, it's magic, not just my father, but it's always been magic to me to get a group of people together in a room with a camera and then see what ends up coming out on the screen. It's just magical, you know. It's unbelievable.
What's the most important thing you've taken from your father, besides martial arts or crafty movies? Personal saying.
Well, having respect for women, probably.
Yeah. How much do you exercise?
Quite a great deal.
Nowadays.
Nowadays it depends upon what film I'm doing. For Rapid Fire, I exercised quite a great deal. I worked out 5 or 6 days a week for 3-4 hours a day. The next movie I'm doing is not as physical as Rapid Fire, so I imagine I won't work out as much. Right now I'm working out about 3 days a week.
3 days a week.
Yeah.
What movie is this?
It's called The Crow.
The Crow.
Yes, it's a supernatural thriller, and I'm playing a rock and roll musician.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What instrument do you play?
The guitar.
The guitar. You said that it's not so. There's not too much action like in the Rapid Fire. So do you want to play more characters that are not so violent into the movies?
Oh, you know, I'm leaving my options open right now. I really just try and take each script as it comes. Deal with each script on an individual basis, you know.
Usually, do you choose your characters, or what kind of choice have made? Are you receiving too much offering to play?
Well, I'm very fortunate right now because I am receiving some offers to do different things, and I'm really, you know, I don't have the choice to do anything, of course. I only get offered certain things, and I tend to get offered things that involve the martial arts more so than other things. That's about it.
When you were a boy, how have you seen the movies of Bruce Lee?
How have I seen them?
Yes.
I saw them when they came out in the theater.
But in which way they were important for your upbringing?
Well, seeing his movies, I just thought it was exciting as hell. I used to come out of the theater jumping and kicking and punching and just having a great time, you know.
How was he? He was a calm person. How would you describe him?
I would describe him as very intelligent, very driven, and very, very gifted.
Gifted. Do you prefer agility rather than force?
I think that agility is very important. Agility and force are both important. They are both very important.
Okay. Do you think of following the tradition of I don't know if I'm saying right, karate, martial art movies? I mean, do you want to fill the space your father has occupied?
No.
No, don't you think about it?
No one can fill the space that my father occupied. No
Because
one ever has, and no one ever will.
I believe that, because I think that after your father, I can feel that there are a kind of a hole in
Yes.
that kind of movie. And when I saw your movie just yesterday here, I was wondering if you wanted to fill that hole left by your father.
Like I said, I don't think anyone can fill that hole.
Okay. In general, how do you see the action movies?
In general, I think that they are usually viewed by intelligent film goers, critics, as being kind of stupid, I think people think action movies like, oh, it's a stupid action movie, And I think that that's unfortunate. I don't like that. I would like to see a movie just because it has action in it doesn't mean that the acting has to be terrible, the script has to be terrible, all those things. I would like to see that kind of film, an action film, attract a better director, better screenwriter, better class of actor, and I think that will happen.
Okay. How was playing with Ernest Borgnine into Laser Mission?
Oh, Ernest Borgnine was great. He's really just such a nice man, He's been around for so long. He has a tremendous amount of stories to tell and experience in filmmaking and in life, And he's worked with everybody, every actor you can mention. Ernest Borgnine has worked with just about. So he really was very kind to me, and I liked him a great deal.
Was that your first film?
No, that was my second film.
What was your first film?
Legacy of Rage, the one in Hong Kong.
Legacy of Rage. How do you feel playing your first movie? What was that experience for you?
At first, I was very nervous about the whole thing, but then it's just shooting a film in Hong Kong is crazy. It's just incredibly long hours, very disorganized.
Because of the town?
Yeah, because there's no unions, and that's just the way it is there. There's no unions, so there's no guidelines. They can shoot 24 hours a day if they want.
Wow.
There's no script. You just show up on the set each day and improvise pretty much. And so pretty soon I just got so caught up in the pace of the whole thing there was no time to be worried anymore, and I just did it,
It's very exciting.
It's very exciting, yeah, it's great.
Have you thought that making movies was always that way?
I love making a movie, man. I love being on a movie set. I really get pumped up. I have a good time, It's really gets you going. It's great.
Okay. Do you think the martial art movies have been renewed through the times?
Yes, I do. I think that after my dad passed away, they stayed for a brief period, then they really went downhill and they got really bad for a long time. And then only in the last 5 years, I think they've started to become good movies again.
Yeah, especially with whom?
Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal, mostly, I guess, in America. The films in Hong Kong, let me say, I think have always been great. I really like Jackie Chan, Yun Biao, Sammo Hung, all those guys who work in Hong Kong. I think they're great. But they're not really international films. They're really limited to that part of the world, you know.
I personally, I only knew Jack Chan
Yeah.
from that guy.
Yeah. So I guess what, Jean-Claude did his first film about 5-6 years ago. Does that sound right?
Yes, I think so.
5 or 6 years ago, and I think that really started to revive the interest in martial arts movies. You have to give him credit for that.
Because there's too much people interested, too much viewers interested in that kind of movie, no?
Yeah, but before that, those movies weren't really being made anymore. You know, they were really not so good anymore.
Left behind.
Yeah, they had turned into a real cheap kind of movie, like, oh, it's a stupid martial arts movie. And then they start to have a little more class, a little more money spent on the productions.
And I believe that the industry, especially in Hollywood now, are very interested in that kind of movie.
Yes, I think so too.
It is good. Usually, how many times do you rehearse?
Rehearse an action sequence or
Yes,
a dramatic scene?
An action sequence, for example.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot. You know, over and over. You start the rehearsal slow, quarter speed. Everybody just moving like real slow, like this, you know, so that everybody can get it in their heads. Because you don't want anybody to get hurt, right? And then you come up to about half speed, so you're going.
Start slow and then.
And then you run up, and you faster and faster until you can do it full speed. Then you bring the cinematographer over so he can watch it through the camera, set up his shots. And you rehearse everything, make some changes if you have to. I'd say we rehearse it, 20 times before we shoot it,
10 times.
at
Wow,
least.
It's a lot.
Yeah, well, you have to do that to make it look good, because it's only on the 10th take that it starts to look good, Everybody starts to get a sense of everybody else's rhythm, how they move, what the timing is, so that it's just dead right on, So there aren't those pauses where you see the guy kind of waiting to get hit, that kind of thing. You have to get it so it's just really crisp and clean and just right.
Okay. The fights on the rapid fire seems to be very complicated. It's a kind of a choreography. Who draws it and how?
I did.
You?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Along with the stunt coordinator Jeff Imada. He and I are both credited for choreographing the film. And what I would do is I would sit home with a piece of paper, write the fight out, just imagine in my mind and write it out. And I'd bring some guys from the martial arts academy that I practice at over to the house, and I would run through it with them, like I said, slowly, and then build it up faster. And then if I wanted to, sometimes I would shoot it on video camera at home, and then I would bring in all of this material and show it to the director, and then I would rehearse it with the stuntmen or the actors, as the case may be, and then we would shoot it.
Do you choose a scene to be into the movies when you think it's the right things to do? For example, you read the script,
Mm-hmm.
and you suggest at a certain point that it's good to put one fight scenes.
The script is already written with fight scenes in it at particular moments, but I would take the actual description of the fight scene and just get rid of it, throw it away and write a new description. But it still occurs at the point in the script that the writer put it.
Okay. Playing the character into Rapid Fire, how much have you injured yourself and the others? Is that possible?
Yes, it's possible.
I have the impression that it's impossible to no one get hurt in the movie.
I don't think anyone should get hurt on a movie, but of course, when you're working so physical like that, sometimes somebody makes a mistake and somebody gets hit. We had some bumps and bruises, and I broke my toe on this foot. And
do we rapid fire?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we had some people get little cuts from glass and stuff, and that's about it. Wasn't too bad.
And I think in front of the camera, you have the action, you have the adrenaline in your veins.
Yes.
And I think you want to do your best.
Thank you.
You explode in the scene. What kind of sport do you like?
I like all sports. I play basketball, tennis, racquetball, ping pong. I run, I box, do a lot of things.
How much do you exercise when you are not making a movie?
I exercise about 3 or 4 days a week.
Are you going on any diet to be well prepared, physically sane?
Yes. When I'm getting ready for a movie, like for Rapid Fire, I was on a specific diet. I'll be on a specific diet for The Crow. It's about 2,000 calories a day. It's monitoring the percentage of carbohydrates and proteins and fats, and that's about it.
Are you used to get up early?
No, I don't get up early at all. I'm very much a night person. I don't get up till 10 o'clock in the morning.
Don't you care about the time?
It doesn't really matter. I make my own schedule because I don't have a real job. The only time I get up early in the morning is when I'm working on a movie.
What about the competition on the kind of movie you do? That you make? In which way it really exists?
Well, it hasn't really existed for me yet. I mean, I suppose the market is only so big, and if there were too many people, then I guess there wouldn't be enough audience to go see all of the films, and then there would be some competition, but I don't know. I mean, I don't really feel a direct sense of competition with anybody.
All right. Do you think of playing another character beside the ones in action movies? I mean, a drama.
Yeah, I'm open to that.
Without any action scene?
Yes, I'm open to that.
Yes. What kind of movie do you like? Besides the kind of movie that you do?
I like movies that are about people and their lives. Movies like Driving Miss Daisy or,
Yes.
Being There, or I liked Grand Canyon. I like movies that are about people and their lives. Movies that have those real subtle, beautiful moments in them where people experience profound things.
Great. Dolph Lundgren worked with Jean-Claude Van Damme in Universal Soldiers. Would you share a leading role with someone else in that kind of movie? Have you thought about it?
I don't think so, no. I haven't been offered anything like that, and I don't think I would be quick to accept anything like that, no. There isn't anybody I can think of in that genre that I want to work with. I mean, I don't particularly want to work with Jean-Claude Van Damme. I don't want to work with Steven Seagal.
In which way the special effects helps out a fight scene?
One of the great things about fight scenes, in my opinion, you get a movie like Terminator 2, for example, and the thing is, every stunt, not every, but the majority of the big stunts in that movie are linked to special effects. So what I mean to say is, every time there's a stunt in the movie, there's a special effect that goes along with it. And so they can do some incredible stuff, it looks great. But you can't compete with that unless you have the kind of budget they have, which is like $90 million, But the way you can compete is by doing well-choreographed, well-executed fight scenes. Because a fight scene doesn't take any special effects. There aren't any special effects in a fight scene. There aren't. I mean, there's very rarely any special effects. Maybe there's like, a blood hit or something like that, or some padding or a breakaway glass, but there really aren't any big special effects involved in fight scenes. Unless it's some kind of optical that you put in the editing house. There really isn't that much.
Do you think of directing a movie?
Not right now.
Not right now. If you had to choose a director to play a character, what director would you choose? Would you like to be?
Who would I like to work with?
Yes, to work with.
Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese. Do you believe that he has kind of which ingredient that you like?
He makes very personal movies. I feel that he has a really strong passion for the movies that he makes. And he makes them out of a very personal vision for those movies. So many people make movies because they're trying to make the studio happy, or they're trying to make a copy of somebody else's movie, or they're trying to fill some formula that they think will be successful. They're not trying to make some deeply personal vision that they have that they really think is right, and they don't care what anybody else thinks. They don't care that these people say it's not going to make money and these people say they won't be able to market it. They just care that they think it's right. And Martin Scorsese makes those kind of movies, and very few other American directors do.
Well, my last question: what is the movie of your father that you like the most?
Enter the Dragon.
Oh yes, I like that movie too.
Me too.
I've seen that movie and I really like it.
I've seen it 30, 40 times.
Okay, thank you. I really
Thank you.
appreciate your paying attention.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
I just forgot to bring you an issue of my magazine, but when are you going to come back? Tomorrow? You said no, not tomorrow.
I'll be here until Wednesday.
Until Wednesday. Okay, I'm here next to the Copacabana Palace,
Okay.
With the hotel. I'll bring you one issue, the magazine, and I left it here for you.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's been nice meeting you.
You too, thank you.
Thank you.